We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity Top Gun Sales Bootcamp Training. I have a feeling today's going to be fast. And so, Nora, what you got?
My score for yesterday was 34%.
Okay. So better than 20. So good. 50% increase from the 20%. So that's awesome. Not as good as the 70%. Okay. All right. Anything else you got?
Um, no, not right now.
Kenny, what you got?
Um, so I lost a sale yesterday. Makes no sense. Where he said he went with competition that was cheaper. Um, and he was very appreciative. But I was thinking on my response to him, it would be he wanted to do that in the past. He wanted to go over the difference, make sure, and the estimates, make sure we're comparing apples to apples. I'm thinking coming back to him saying, okay, not a problem. That's fine.
How big
But
of a sale was it?
100 grand,
Okay. Go
big
ahead.
one. So it's like, okay, no, not a problem. I'd still be willing to review the estimates with you if that's something you want to do. And what we've had happen in the past is where other people are cheaper, but then I've had a few incidents where people share that with me where
Okay. So a couple of things is, um, you add look to it.
look at the
So
estimates.
yeah. So
Okay.
we've had other situations in the past where they look like they're lower priced. Don't put few. Don't add don't add the word few. You don't want to do that. You want to just you let them decide what they want to think. So you have so in the past we've had, it's fuel felt fine. I know how you feel. Others have felt the same way, and this is what they found. And so we're not going to always be the lowest price, but price and value, you know, we have found that we are very, very competitive. And so you're on the right path, but you little tiny things like, um, so that then you go ahead. Okay, so go ahead and modify it and go for it. And okay, now what are you going to say to him?
Um, so I'd be happy to review the other estimate with you and
Yep,
make sure we're comparing apples to apples. Uh,
yep,
and it has happened in the past where we had competition look like they would be the cheaper option.
yeah, perfect. But what others
Um,
have found
we
often is the case. So you go, but what others have found is often the case, and that is you pay what you get what you pay for. And so sadly, it's absolutely devastating when people call us back and say, we should have gone with you. And I can't even tell you how many times that's happened. So that's not, you know, as long as that's the truth, that's the truth. And so there's times that it's happened, you don't even know it's happened. So from my perspective, you know, in sales, you don't ever lie, but you're not telling them everything all the time, 100% of all everything. And so if you have all you need is one story. So this right here, box 13, why prospects are lost. You go down to box 12 and you think of these feed successes into 1, 2, and 3. Well, this is one of the best successes you can have because in sales, one of the biggest things is losing it due to price. And often a salesperson, if you're just selling on price, then you're an order taker. So you're
mhm.
on the right path for sure. Do you have any stories? You have
I
one
do
that okay.
some specifics, yes.
So what you do is you go ahead and say, yeah, for example, there's this one, and you lay that story out and you perfect that story to have as few words as possible and have it as much bite, and the bigger the pain for the customer, like they ended up and it was this and this and this. And I don't want that to happen to you. So, you know,
Do we, it would be, do we need to find out who the other bid, which if I review the other bid, I could look at who it's from.
oh, you always want to do that. Sometimes you're subtle about it, but you always want to do it. And if you're gonna destroy the competition, again, what I don't like about sales and business is it's warfare. It just is. And again, I don't never lie. But if you have a competitor out there that, bends the rules, that goes ahead and you find out about them, if somebody says something and you don't use this technique, unless it's true. Like you don't use it on a worthwhile competitor. You're not out to hurt them to get
Right.
business. You're not. That's just not fair. Like if they're good company, hey, their kids need to eat too, and it's fine. But if you get a bad company out there, you start hearing stuff, you start seeing stuff, you go ahead and say they cut corners, they do whatever. The way you destroy them is not a frontal attack. The way you destroy them is say, I don't want to say something bad about that particular. We don't want to say something bad about our competitors. So you do the amiable. Amiable is vicious. They will destroy you, and you'll say thanks. Thanks for just like I don't know if we've gone over that one. um, and so you go, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to talk poorly about about anybody. I don't know how. So you go into your aw shucks type of thing, and you go ahead and I just I just be really careful, and that will have a better effect in most situations than going into anything specific. And again, personally, um, some have called me Reddington from.
Raymond Reddington. I've I'd like to
So,
watch that show.
yeah, so some have called me that. Um, he's got his own sense of morals, like and so for me, it's just like, what, if somebody's a goofball, I'll destroy him in business. If somebody's out there hurting somebody else, you know what, I'll absolutely destroy them. Like it's not a problem. They're hurting people, destroy them. Can I use those same techniques on good people? I can. I just won't. It's like a moral. Like it's just like, no, you don't use that. Will I use other techniques that, yeah, I might do that to get the sale? And so when you use these, this is what Top Gun, this is like it'll teach you stuff. And so the thing is the morality of it to me is really important. Like, I don't really talk much on Top Gun about my spiritual beliefs and stuff like that. Um, but I think proper fear of God is something really important. And I don't know, my dad was a pastor, so I went to church very conservative and everything like that. Um, I don't know that they taught the fear of God. And so a lot of mercy, a lot of grace. And so what I like to think of, hey, how I'm treating somebody, I'm going to stand before my creator one day and he's going to like, Mark, what were you thinking? Like that, the owner of that other company, you destroyed him. Well, he had a handicapped child. He had this and this. He had this and this and this, and you didn't know any of that. And so for me, most people in sales, they're not able to do it. They're not able to sell something. And the same thing is true with price. I mean, Nora and I sometimes like cheapers. Like he's got somebody now, and you know, she's paying for inventory, paying to get a loan, and it's fine. Like it's fine. It just I think there's nobody else in the world that would do this in sales. I mean, there are, but by and large, like I love her heart. And it's there too. I mean, I get it. There's no fight. It's like, hey, here's a couple. So you just have empathy for your customer, and you say, hey, I don't want to overcharge them. I don't mind making a lot of money, but I need to make them a lot of money. I need to give massive amount of value, for what I give. It's like this is what I need to do. And so other questions, Kenny?
No, I don't think so.
So the if you don't know of who they are, like some of this stuff, there are times, and it's been what, 4 months, 5 months that we've been doing this. There's techniques that I can teach you guys that I'm like, man, like I think I'm going to go ahead, and when I stand before my creator, I'm going to go ahead, and I don't think it's going to be like Mark, you weren't fair to this person. This person, you shafted them. And it's like, oh, sorry. He's like, oh, it's no big deal. You're fine. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, I don't know what it's going to be like. I just don't think it's going to be like that. And so there's this fear. So as I teach you guys all these advanced techniques, number one thing is whatever your spirituality is, whatever religion you are, you need to have a fear of your creator, in my opinion. That keeps you on track, because the things that we can teach you can be so misused, it's insane. And so you can call a competitor when you lose something after they have it. You can call them up and you can say, hey, I just want to congratulate you. And, so when you do things, when you do things, when you do things, I don't know, you just, so that's the thing I hate about sales. It's the thing I hate about business is there's so much gray line, and it's so easy to go to the dark side. It just is. Anyways, so you call them up and say, hey, I just want to congratulate you on getting this sale. Like, that was awesome. And I wonder if I could take you out for coffee, because, that, I don't know, there might be things that we could do to help you and you could do to help us. And I have to admire you. I don't know how you got that price, but man, that was an awesome price. Dang, I'm impressed with you. So then you take it and you start to go ahead, because if it's a legitimate price and it's 20% below you, how are they doing that?
Mm-hmm.
And making money? Like, are you going to make any money? No, we're not making any money on that one. Okay, so you're just doing it to keep your guys busy? Yep. Okay, that makes sense. All right, good luck. Hey, I'd still like to go out to coffee with you. Just me. Like, you got to have, when you have stupid competitors, you got to, like, are ignorant. Like, listen, dude, this will be one of the, like, there's a new piece in the Top Gun, and it's going to be, I don't know, the favorites or whatever it is. This one might go into the favorites because it teaches morality. It teaches a sense of humor. It teaches like the techniques that you have. Like, I took Taekwondo when I was in high school. That was a fascinating story. Can you share that one? There's this 7th degree black belt, Mr. Langless. This funny story. Like, 7 degree, but little guy, man, he could kill you, literally. He was like 63 or something, retired. You know how he died? 7 degree black belt. You know how he died?
He tripped on a curb, something.
Fell off a ladder in his garage. Like, what? Anyways, anything else, Kenny, you got?
There was one other um salesperson that called us from another company, and they asked if we could basically asking if we could partner up and referral partners. Um, but I didn't finish that conversation with them, and I didn't know how to. Yeah, we can work back and forth. The downside is I think they do everything, but maybe they have some small jobs that they don't want to do, and then we'll take those. I don't know if there's a way to lock down the get it solid to where it goes, where it's the referrals go back and forth.
Well, if they're a bigger fish, they're going to have, I mean, that one guy that Nora ran into, I called and left a couple messages. He wants to pay his guys more. That's his biggest challenge or what he'd love help with. And he's booked out for a year. Doesn't seem like this is brain surgery or rocket science, but this is what I get paid the big bucks to do.
Right.
If you're booked out for a year, how about raising your prices? But there's a fear, there's a fear there, or locked in, he can't. And it's like, okay, so, you have that heart and you tell them, you say, I want to give you more than our goal is when we referral partner, absolutely appreciate the business. So they've probably been in business longer than you guys have. They probably are older than you, maybe not, but they have connections you don't have or something. And so our goal is to always, when we're a referral partner, our goal is to always give more. And it's not talk, it's just integrity. Like if I say something like this podcast about integrity, you say something, you do something. You just do. It's just that's the right thing to do. Don't talk. Don't be a big talker. So you could go ahead and double their business. What's the fastest way to double somebody's business and increase their profit by 100, 200%?
Closing ratios.
Right there, that's a bad boy right there. Sales closing ratios. So you ask them, what's your sales closing ratio? Probably don't even know. So the average sales closing ratio in most businesses is 1 out of 10. If you're getting your business through referrals, it's often 7 or 8 out of 10. It's more than 8 out of 10. You got a lead generation issue. Like, yeah, 100% sales closing ratio. How many leads do you get? 1 a month. Okay. And so sales closing ratios. And so the ones that aren't closing, that's going back to the prospect rescue system. Ooh, this is a good one. That goes back to that prospect rescue system. So you guys, like Tom Coon's grandfather said to him, write this stuff down because so when you guys go through this, when Kenny, you went through this hopefully 3-4 years ago, Kenny, Luke, when you went through it a year ago, Nora, when you went through it, I don't know, 8 months ago or whatever. Like there's the prospect rescue, and you guys ought to watch this and then come back tomorrow and ask me questions because there's a lot more to this that's not in the recording, that's not in the podcast. You can go in any leads that they lose, you could go in and potentially rescue those leads or get the referrals. This is a crazy technique, and the Action Vision system, it can help you do that. And some of the tools there. Nice. Anything else, Kenny, you got?
I do not know.
Luke, anything you got?
So the other day, for the first time, I scheduled an appointment, went out, looked at his project, punched the numbers in my laptop, got a price, and closed him. Got a down payment. Like that was cool.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, now we just need to make sure that, you make money on that deal.
Right.
And if your compensation is tied to every deal rather than quarterly, not you guys, obviously, but there's some companies that are lazy out there and they don't want to track their the cost accounting, measuring all cost on every deal. Wait until you go ahead and can click a button and find out what the total cost on that particular piece is. With some of the stuff Kenny and I are working on, we might be able to have dollar results marketing box 20. When I explained, Tom said, "What's that box there?" He was curious. I explained it to him. He's like, "Holy cow, Mark. I've never even heard of such a thing." I'm like, "Right?" He's like, "I've never seen a company anywhere in the world that knows how to do that, has the ability to do it." I'm like, "Right?" Oh, someday you guys ought to write down on the story of the periodic table and how it seems like that the 530 grid is like the periodic table. So, nice. Anything else, Luke, you have?
Nope, I don't think so.
So why'd you bring that up?
Well, yeah, like, and then there was another situation where I tried the same thing. I got him the price, and it may still close, but I'm not sure. I was higher priced than the competition, and like I don't know, I don't know how to close it
Guys,
or how to.
yeah. Do you guys want to be impressed? Do you guys want to see a magic trick?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask Luke a question. Why are you smiling, Kenny?
I think we just talked about this.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask Luke a question. I already know the answer, though. Luke, do you know what the question is? So,
I
Luke,
don't think.
are you getting their personality? Are you doing the geo and the pain quadrant test? I would
Nope,
say you're not. Is that true?
correct.
How do I know these things? I mean, do I have like little cameras that somehow are embedded and can do this? Like, 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 how many times have I told you how to do that? Do you know why you have an edge over everybody else in doing that?
Nope.
Tom is an expressive driver personality. He's also analytics, so expressive analytics, expressive driver. The expressive has an advantage over everybody else because it doesn't have to make sense. They can be goofy. They can get away with things that nobody else can get away with. So you have an advantage because it's fun. It's like, hey, I want to do this, and it might not make sense, but it's very interesting, and it helps us to better understand you and service you and communicate with you. So, which of these four shapes would you tend to like the most? A cube, a pyramid, wavy line, or ball? First, second, third, and fourth. And you can say, hey, it only takes 17 seconds, and they tell you what it is, and then you go and say, which of these four things would cause you the most frustration in any area of your life, out of order, out of control, boring, or not fun, or conflict? You don't say it that fast. And then you get 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you go, that's interesting. See, are you saying, and we probably ought to work on you guys' scripts. Like, are you guys saying that, hey, we do business very different from other companies where we're looking for, lifelong business, friendships, relationships? Do you do that in your script?
I don't know if Kenny does.
Yeah, so there's probably going back when I'm in my 20s, when I was you guys' age. There's things that I learned when I was out there. You do 100% straight commission, let me tell you. You got a wife that's 3 months pregnant in a house. like, like you learn. So there's these little things that, but I have to see your system, your process. Like I need to see scripting. And so what are you saying? And then, you know, and so in a bridge, the strength of a bridge lies in what? Like what creates it? What creates strength in a bridge? A bridge you drive your truck over.
The pillars or the cables.
Pillars and cables, good. Yep. Anything else?
The
The
cement. I don't
concrete, the
know.
steel, yep. Anything else? There's teeth. There's metal teeth in the bridge. So any system you build, you want to have metal teeth. Do you guys know what the metal teeth is? What they do, the purpose they serve?
Or strength.
No, it's not for strength.
You've
It's for give. It's for flexibility. See, metal and steel, the ground shifts, it moves. You can't, so it's solid, but the flexibility, you have to have so in every system, you have to have flexibility. You have to have the ability. So you have a system. There's Pablo Pascal, the famous artist, said something about, great quote, said something about you have to learn how to be an artist, like the brushstrokes. You have to learn how to do that before you become creative. And so your system, but you show me the system. You show an Action Vision coach. So if you're not on Action Vision coaching, I'd get on there as soon as you possibly can, because that's where the magic really happens, is in the Action Vision coaching. Because there's little things, one word, one piece, one thing, and it can change everything. Anything else, Luke, you got?
So at the end of like I want to do this. It may not make sense, but it's kind of fun, like, and it helps us to understand you better. After you do the test, do you ask them, hey, do you want to like that? That's a personality assessment. Do you want to know what your personality is, or
Often I
do
just go
you,
and say, huh, you have a really interesting personality.
and then
See,
explain it?
well, they then let them decide if they want it or not. Let them be curious. Let them play. Like I'm a driver analytic. I know you all think that Mark's an expressive, amiable. Nope, he's a driver analytic. But what I've learned in sales is you want to have fun, you want to connect, you want to go deep with people. So there's techniques that you have in being able to go deep that make it fun. That it's not just boring. It's not just like, how much am I worth? Am I worth 10% more or 20% more? Just because of Mark. Like, how much are you worth? How much do you bring value because you care, because of the knowledge, because of the experience, because you're going to help them? Because how much value do you bring to the equation? Andrew, anything you got, sir?
Yes, what was that survey that Luke did on me yesterday?
Was that the one for the team member, Luke?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You see how effective that is, Luke? See, Andrew's curious. He wants to know what that is. So in tomorrow's podcast, Top Gun podcast, we can go through that. So we'll go through that. That's awesome, Andrew. Love your curiosity. Don't ever lose that, buddy. So we'll go over that tomorrow for you. Make sense?
Yes, got it.
Cool. All right. All of you need to be thinking, how do we help Andrew? So he's new to the group. He's new to the system. He's new to sales. He's new to everything. So how do we help? How do we help him? Like in the Marines, it's no man left behind, man or woman. So they will put a whole unit at risk to not leave one person behind the line. There's some movies out there that are, I think it's The Last Survivor or something like that, The Lone Survivor or something like that, where they went back. And so, how do you build teams? And that's something you guys could bring up. We've got a lot of material. I mean, there's so much. So they're specific every single time. And if you're going through the Top Gun and you're like, this doesn't apply to me, it's not the system. It's you. You need to learn to be a better student. Well, I already understand that. Do you? Are you sure? Maybe not. So if you have any questions, connect with the individual who invited you to participate, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300 outside the U.S. 630-393-9909, or you can call 260-818-0233. Always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.